Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Camp XL's Lockdown!
So,
hey guys, hello! How are you?
Everybody.
Good to see you again. My name is Jeremy and I am live in London.
And my name is Debs, and I am live in Nottingham.
what's up? I'm Wes, and I'm live in Newcastle.
And like together, this is Lockdown Live. We're sorry about last week, technical boo-boos, oops, but it's good to see you. We've got some people tuning in. Who do we have? Let's have some shout-outs.
Well,
I've got Seth on WhatsApp. Big hello to Seth on WhatsApp.
Hey, we got Seth chatting to you 2 weeks ago. Abishan, hello, Abishan. And who else have we got? We've got Ollie, and it might be the same Seth. I don't know if it is a different Seth. Hello. And we've got
Seth
Jackie.
1, Seth 2.
Seth 1, Seth 2. They're not like thing 1, thing 2.
And Jackie is sending us, I don't know, is that a bunny with lots of hearts?
Like a little bunny.
I
with
think
lots
so. Thank you for the bunny.
Love
Good
it.
to see
Love
you.
the bunny.
Guys,
Cheers,
why don't
man.
we go straight in? Well, actually, we're going to play a game, but you guys need to know how to make contact with us, don't you?
Yep.
So let's do this. What would be the obvious way? Obvious way, if you're on Facebook, would be through the Facebook comments. If you're watching on Facebook, we're going to have some live games. We're going to be asking you for your scores. So use
Comments.
the Facebook comments. If you are watching on YouTube, we have a number of viewers on YouTube. You can't comment on YouTube, but you can do this.
You can WhatsApp us using the phone number that's on the screen. So grab your phone and write down this number, 07517 457 921. I have the phone. I'm checking WhatsApp. You can send your answers in, or you can just send shout-outs in. Come and say hi to us, and we will read out your name on air.
We'd really appreciate that.
Great.
Also,
Sorry, Wes, go.
I was just going to say, guys, we're trying to get 100 subscribers on YouTube. All you have to do is, if you go on the YouTube page, Camp Excel, just tap that big red button. It's absolutely free. There's no gimmicks or anything like that. You just press the red button, and then you'll be able to know when we are going live.
And thank you for that, Wes. Guys, it's be a real help to us. It's not just to boost our ego, though it does do that. It's more because we need that certain number of subscribers so that if you're watching on YouTube, next time you can just get a dedicated link. Wouldn't that be cool? youtube.com/CampXL. And then you don't have to get this random separate link each time, but we need 100 subscribers in order to be able to deliver that. So even if you're a Facebook geek, please, when this is over, do us a favor, please. Head over to YouTube, subscribe. It will really help us out. Thank you so much. But that's enough. What do you guys say we play a game?
I'm
Debs,
down
what
for
are we
it.
playing?
Play a game.
I'm down for a
I think we
game.
play a game.
What's it called?
Which
First
game?
game.
Oh, where in the world is Wes? Amazing. Okay, so everyone, we're going to play Where in the World is Wes, which is a cracking game because Wes looks stupid. So what we're going to do... Sorry, Wes, I mean you do, buddy. I'm really sorry. What we're going to do is we are going to put a picture on the screen of a well-known place in the world, and Wes is going to be there, and you need to guess where that place is. Now, you can each of these pictures is of a famous landmark, so you can either type in the landmark, or if you know the city the landmark is in, you can say that as well. It'll all make perfect sense when the first one happens, but text in or type in where in the world is Wes, and if you get the answer right, we'll read it out on air.
Let's
So,
do this.
Ready?
Where
Right.
in the world is Wes? I think the first one's quite easy. You ready? Let's go. Let's do this.
Oh, we've got
Here we
like
Where in the
go.
world is Wes?
Oh my god, where am I? Where, guys? You should know
Where
where
in
I
the
am.
world is Wes, everyone? What is the famous landmark? Facebook comment or WhatsApp it to us.
Where in
see
the
if you
world
can work
is
out- you can't
Wes?
Work out what the landmark is. Which city could it be in? And I'm sorry, buddy, Wes, you should dress like that all the time.
It's very
He does.
possible, isn't it?
He does. Have we got that one?
Not yet. Oh, someone put Millennium.
Do you know what we're going to do? We're going to just crack on ahead and keep
Give you
the
five-
answers.
we'll give you
Exactly.
five
Keep the answers coming in. Let's make this a race, shall we? First person to get the answer correctly. I see someone's come in with the Millennium Dome.
People say Millennium Dome. It's not.
Let's have that one as a practice. So now, for real, where in the world is Wes? First person to Facebook comment it in, or to send us the answer on WhatsApp. WhatsApp?
Oh, Seth says
What-
the O2.
what's that? Yeah, that was the O2. That one wasn't it?
Okay, very good. Okay, now you got the idea. Now it's for real.
Next one, next
did I
one.
say we
Okay,
were playing?
take
Did I?
it.
Hey, did I say we were playing for prizes?
Are we?
No,
prizes?
no, because we're not. Okay, good. There we go. There we go. Number 2. Where in the world is Wes? Where in the world is Wes?
Where in the world is Wes? Where do you reckon this place is? And please, Wes, can you just come on the show like that dressed up next week? Please, pretty please.
I'm gonna try and find a walking
So,
stick.
where do you reckon this is? Kind of looks like a weird triangle. Do you think you've got the
Guys,
answer?
have you got
The
it?
answer, message or text?
Oh, someone did say the O2 Arena before. Well done, guys.
Yeah,
Oh, by
we've got
the
a
way,
few
hello
coming in.
to the Explorers.
Okay, so someone's come up with a city.
Yep, I've got a city on
Oh,
WhatsApp
yeah,
as well from
yeah.
Seth.
We did say we
Do
would
we
accept
know
the
what the
city.
famous landmark
Oh,
is?
Okay, why don't someone tell?
Hannah's got it right. Hannah's got it right.
Well done, Hannah. Kudos. Let's move this one on. And the next, where in the world is Wes?
Where am I, guys?
Where is he? Where is he?
There we go.
Boom! Where in the world is Wes?
Oh, where in the world is Wes? Oh, that's a tricky one.
You think so?
Quite a posh place.
I think that's
guys.
quite easy.
I don't know. I don't know where it is. Although my geography is awful, as many people may tell you.
There's a lot of guards guarding this place.
Oh, very good, very good. Big clue, big clue, big clue.
I
Someone
think
super important lives there,
oh.
and it's not very far away from
Oh.
actually from where I live. To be honest, it's a lot closer than the Eiffel Tower. Okay, we're going to move on. Anyone getting the answer? Anyone got this one?
No, they haven't got it
Oh,
yet.
Ollie says.
No, he just said this is Ollie.
Okay,
Oh.
we're going to move on, and we're going to keep watching the answers. Hope somebody can get that. If not, if no one's got it by the time we do the next one, we'll tell you. But
Okay.
moving on to the next one.
Patrick says, is it Buckingham Palace? Patrick says,
Look,
Buckingham
we
Palace.
are
you got
Patrick.
it.
We
Perfect.
ask we ask the questions. Patrick, you don't ask the questions. Is it Buckingham Palace? We ask the questions.
It is.
You tell us the answer. Okay,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is Buckingham
Patrick, you've done a
Palace.
great job, buddy.
It is Buckingham Palace. Great. Where in the world is Wes? Boom.
Where in the world is Wes?
Quite
Oh,
Little further away.
Quite hot over here.
it's quite hot over there. A friend of mine got stuck in one of these once.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
Did
he got stuck in
Did
one.
he?
And
Bit of a clue. Did he get the hump? Is that a clue? Did he get the
what?
hump?
I don't think that's
Did
a clue. I don't think.
did he
it's-
get the
Oh,
hump?
Seth says, is it? Seth says, and Josh. So we have Josh and Lydia and Seth all say, is it Egypt?
It's
Oh.
Egypt. Did we say we'd? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Judges are ruling. Did we say we'd accept the country? I don't think
We-
so.
Well, Josh and Lydia have just clarified and says, is it the pyramids of Giza?
yes, the pyramids of Giza.
Well done, Josh.
Well done,
Yeah,
Giza.
you did a
Well done, let's
fantastic
play.
job.
Where in the world is Wes? I think this is another quite easy one. Further away.
I have no idea where this is. Where's that?
Seriously?
Look, I'm not very good at
Well, I guess it could
okay?
be. I mean, it's obviously a bridge, isn't it? It could be a dam.
I'm learning a lot right now. Well, is that like a red? So the boat looks a bit like a telephone box. What do you reckon?
Yeah, the boat's not always there, Debs. The boat, you can see it's
Okay.
moving, so the boat's gone.
Oh, San Francisco Bridge from Seth.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, say that again.
Yeah.
Seth says it's the San
We'll
Francisco
give him
Bridge.
that, right?
The Golden Bay Bridge in San Francisco. Well done.
Seth. That's
Well done, well
fantastic.
done.
Guys, I'm on WhatsApp.
I just I got a great talking about coming in a great little joke here from Leo going back to the last one. Leo on Facebook. We were talking about the pyramids, and he says, "Did he have to toot and come in?
Oh
toot and
my.
come in. Toot." Nice one, Leo. We like that.
I see
Okay,
it. I
let's
see
move
that.
on. Let's move on. Where in the world is Wes?
Oh my goodness gracious me!
I see what that statue is. I see what that statue
I mean,
is.
that looks like a very strange shape.
Well, it's like
I
it's
see
it's
it.
not a it's
I
a
see
star,
it.
but it's
I
not
see it.
symmetrical. You need to look in the middle of the star. Don't worry about the star shape. Don't worry about the star shape. Look in the middle.
I see it.
Okay.
What do we think, people? What do we think?
Well, the Facebookers are just seeing it now.
Okay.
Oh, someone got it straight away. Johanna.
Oh yes,
Well
Johanna,
done,
you
Johanna.
quick off the mark, Johanna. Boom! It's the Lady Liberty, the Statue of Liberty.
You
You
see
got it right
it.
as well. Well
You
played,
see
Jackie.
Great, guys. We have 2 more. We have 3 more. We're gonna speed this up. We're gonna speed this
Keep
up.
going,
Where
keep
in the world is Wes?
Ah.
Whoa,
Oh,
that's
my
a little
goodness
weird. Where in the world is Wes?
If you watch Fast and
it
Furious,
on.
you might see this a few times.
Oh, excuse me. Do you
So,
see
where in the
it?
world
Do you
is
see it?
Do we know where this is?
They've only just seen it now.
Yeah. So you
Where
guys on
in the
Facebook
world
and
is Wes?
YouTube,
Right,
you are
I think
about
this is a
30
hard
seconds
one.
behind us. We're having to wait while you get to see it. This is hard. How about a clue? When Wes was there, he would have had to been speaking Portuguese,
Oh,
but he
Rio,
wasn't in
Phil
Portugal.
and Helen.
Oh,
Phil and
yeah,
Helen.
people-
Say-
Helen,
Is it
Helen.
All right.
They shouldn't be asking the questions. Actually, they're not asking, they're saying it's Rio. It's Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. That's a statue of
Fantastic.
Christ the Redeemer with his arms outstretched, looking down from the top. Well done, the
You guys
Western
know what I
family. 2 more. This one's quite close to home, and this has got to be the easiest one. Seriously. Where in the world is Wes?
you
He
know-
didn't go very
see
far
it.
for this one.
I see it. I see it.
You see it? Do you see it? We're talking
I s-
about seeing today.
I've driven
Do
past
you
that
see
quite
it? I see it. Actually, I've seen it several times.
Yeah.
Really? I've never been here.
I saw it when you could actually get up and climb on it. Now you can't.
Hey, really?
Wow, that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
impressive.
Oh,
No,
people-
I've
stay
never
away.
actually been.
I am that old, Wes. I am that old. I got to climb on the rocks in person.
Stonehenge. Ollie's got an answer in. He said Stonehenge. So was Josh and Lydia. They've just come in with Stonehenge
Yeah,
as well.
but Johanna is so fast. She's consistently the quickest. Very good. Guys, this is the last one for Where in the World is Wes. Get your fingers next to the keyboard or on WhatsApp. This is a race. I think it's quite easy, but it's probably the one that is furthest away. That's a clue. Are you ready? Where in the world is Wes?
Oh, I see
Wes.
it.
Hi,
See it. My
Wes.
sister lives near there. Wes, can you go and say hi to my sister while you're there?
Is your sister over there?
My sister is over there. Yeah, hi,
Oh,
Rach,
wow.
Australia.
Is your sister called Sheila? Oh, thanks for giving it away.
Oh, Debs.
Hi, sister in Australia. Good clue there from Debs. Is your sister? Does your sister live in Sydney by any chance? Oh, for goodness sake! And it's Johanna again. Johanna, you are too fast. They're all coming in. Jackie's got it right. Leo's got it. Hannah's got it right. The Westerns say it's in Sydney. Bit more precise. Sydney Opera House. Very, very good. Guys, fantastic. That was. Thank you for playing. That was Where in the World is Wes?
Now I'm in Newcastle.
Very good.
I have some shout outs here, Jeremy.
Let's do them. Let's say hello to some people.
Hello to Seth. Hello, Josh and Lydia from Bramcote. Hello to Ollie and to Phil and Helen. Hello to Leo. It's good to have you all on here, guys. Lovely to see you.
It's very good to see you. Now, we have someone else that we would like to see. And you may have seen him a couple of weeks ago when he did one of the question box for us. But this time, he is back and he's live. His name is Chris, and Chris gets the clap for the funkiest wallpaper known to mankind. Chris, let's bring you on. Where's Chris? Chris, there you are, buddy.
Hello, very much alive.
Hey, so guys, this is Chris. Chris, who are you? Tell us who you are. Tell us how do you and I and CampExcel know one another?
Well, so my name's Chris. I live in Hilton, just a big village just south of Derby, and we know each other because I'm one of the leaders on a Camp Excel holiday in the summer.
Exactly right. You run camps. You've run camps before, and tell us, Chris, why, if we've got youngsters, let's say aged, well, I guess any youngsters, but if they happen to be aged between 8 and 11, why might they be particularly interested on coming along on a camp with Camp Excel? What's so good about coming away on camp? Why do we love camps?
We love it because it is a great opportunity to learn from the Bible about Jesus, which is life-changing. But then we have a fantastic time around those times too. Loads of games, loads of great food, fantastic activities. And these camps, the camps that I'm going to be leading, Ignite, Ignition and Liftoff, are perfect.
I'll put them up on the screen. They're on the screen now.
There we go. They are perfect if you've never been away from home before. So for 8s to 11s particularly. First time away from home, you can come for just 3 nights. But if you want to stay the whole week, then we've got a jam-packed program. So it's perfect for that too.
Can you, without giving away any trade secrets, because I understand that you and your team are probably sworn to secrecy, can you give us any little tidbit of inclination as to what they might be in for if they were to come? Now, we do know there are problems this summer. We'll come back to that in a second. But let's assume that camp's running. What might they be in store?
Well, we're going to be looking in the Bible at Jesus' teaching on the kingdom. So we're going to build around that, a whole kind of kingdom theme. There's definitely going to be some jousting, lots of
jousting. Have you risk assessed this? Have you sent your risk assessments into head office?
We're still going to do that. The horses are going to be the biggest problem.
Oh, okay.
The lawn looks pretty fantastic at Gaines Manor at the moment. I imagine had a nice rest. Well, we're going to dig it up with horse hooves.
Sounds amazing. Now, Chris,
I can't guarantee the horses.
Can't guarantee the horses, but now, where does this camp take place? I mean, Wes has been travelling all over the world. Will people have to travel very far to come on this camp?
I guess it depends where you live. If you live around the Gloucester area, then no, you won't have to travel very far. It's at Gaines Manor in the beautiful countryside outside Gloucester. Fantastic grounds, there's trees, there's green spaces. It's a fantastic place to be, to have fun, to learn from the Bible.
So this is just south of Birmingham, a little west of the M5. I know that some of the guys watching and their families have been on this camp before. And it's particularly designed for your 8s to 11s if they have never been on camp before. Maybe they're a little worried about going away from mummy and daddy, and we do understand that. But Chris, you've got a great team, haven't you? A great team of like big brothers and sisters to look after
absolutely.
people.
And this is my first time on these camps too, so it's perfect. I'll know exactly
you can
how
look after one another.
Yep.
Great. Chris, thank you so much. Now, obviously, it's too early to say if these camps are going to run, but I understand that there are some spaces left for both. I'm going to put the dates back up again. I understand there are probably about a dozen places left, so 6 on each.
And we're still planning, we're still preparing. So even if we have to make a few changes to kind of keep it all safe, then we'll do that. But we'll do what we can.
Thank you. So the plan is that we are still going to run these. It will depend. Excuse me. It will depend on what we're allowed to do and what is safe to do, because obviously we want you guys to be safe.
Yeah.
But the bookings are open, and if you'd like to come and join Chris and his jousting, do sign up. campexcel.org. And if they're cancelled, obviously, you'll get all your money back, and then plan on coming next year. But our hope and our prayer is that we come this year. Now, Chris, before you go, excuse me. Oh, yeah. We are going to be talking a little later this afternoon, in our Bible talk about seeing. It's a story of a blind man who meets Jesus, and Jesus opens his eyes. And you did such a great job asking our question box question a few weeks ago. We asked you to ask another one, didn't we? And the question was, why don't you tell us what the question is? A difficult question. We pulled out the A-team for this. What's the question you're going to be answering for us?
So the question posed to me this week was, I've got to try and remember it now. Why do some people struggle with disabilities where others don't?
Thank you.
How does that fit in God's good world?
That's perfect. Thank you. So, difficult question, Chris.
The Bible can cope with difficult questions. That's the great thing about
absolutely
this.
right.
Any questions we ask, we can.
Absolutely right.
We don't always get the exact answer. Sometimes we have to. Sometimes the Bible tells us we need to change the question, but we always find useful, helpful answers. That's for sure.
Absolutely right. And so now Chris pre-recorded this against the same funky wallpaper.
Yeah, in my
He may have
kitchen.
been wearing a different shirt. So I'm going to run that video. And this is Chris. Chris, thank you so much. Let's give a round of applause, please, for Chris.
Yeah, baby.
Thank you, Chris.
Wrong to applaud myself? I don't know.
No. We did that for you. Chris, thank you so much. We hope to see you. And put the dates back up one more time. August 9 to 12, or 12 to 15, or particularly if you're the older one, if you're sort of age 10, 11, come for all 6 nights. But for now, Chris, thank you so much indeed. I'm going to run the clip of
Pleasure.
you
Loving
answering the
these
question.
shows, guys.
Why does God allow some people to suffer with disabilities? Chris, thank you. God bless you. And we hope to see you in the summer. Chris,
See you soon.
here's you and your question.
Why do some people have disabilities where others don't? It's a really good question because there's lots of really unhelpful things that we could end up thinking if we don't talk about it. I'm sure we all know someone who's got a disability of some kind, perhaps physical, like being blind or not being able to use their legs, or maybe hidden, like a learning disability. Sometimes people are born with these difficulties and differences, whereas sometimes they develop later in life. Sometimes they happen as a result of an illness or an accident. But nearly always, they make some aspects of everyday life more difficult, like just moving around the house or doing work. So why, in God's good world, do some people have those difficulties where others don't? Well, the simple answer is, we probably don't know in most cases. It's certainly part of the consequences of living in a fallen world, where God's ways are not followed. But God doesn't tell us everything about our lives. He doesn't explain to us the reasons behind every aspect, whether good or bad. There are things that we do know, however, that can help us to think about this. Firstly, we know that God is good, and therefore we can always trust him to do what's best for us and to bring himself glory. Secondly, we know that he has made every person in his image, and therefore whatever our circumstances, we are equally valuable and equally deserving of the love, care and protection of one another, and the love, care and protection of God. Thirdly, we know that God's love for us means he won't let anybody go through anything that they can't cope with and that isn't necessary. He will give everyone the strength and the character that they need to deal with whatever difficulties they might live with. But also, there are some examples where it seems clear that God has used somebody's disability for a purpose. There's a lady called Joni Eareckson Tada, an American lady who, when she was 18, she had an accident. She dived into some water that was too shallow, and she damaged her spine, leaving her paralysed from the neck down. Now, in many ways, that seems like a great tragedy, and she certainly felt that way for a time. But now, if you read her books and listen to her speak, she can see that God was at work through the accident. She said once, "The weaker I am, the harder I must lean on God's grace. The harder I lean on him, the stronger I discover him to be, and the bolder my testimony to his grace." She's thankful for her accident because it helped her to understand more about God and his grace, his undeserved kindness to her. And did you notice in that last sentence, she talked about the boldness of her testimony? Testimony means telling others about God, and her accident has helped her tell thousands of others about God's grace, about salvation in Jesus. She's helped many others through her books and through her talks. She's helped many people come to follow Jesus for themselves. God has used her disability to help her and to help others and to bring glory to himself. In a minute, you're going to hear about a man who was born blind. Now, God chooses to heal him of his blindness, But it's clear that even there, he's doing it to help people understand that Jesus was the Messiah. He used it for a purpose. Now, of course, these examples don't answer the question completely. Like I said, we'll probably never know the reasons behind some situations. But we know we can trust God even when we don't fully understand.
Well, guys, I guess it is time for another game after that. Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Game time. Okay, so the game is Do You See It? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a close-up of a picture, and we're going to give you 5 different angles of that picture. They're going to be really close up, and then they're going to gradually get further and further away so you can see the big picture. Now, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to keep your scores in your head and be honest with us, okay, when you add them all up at the end. So if you get it right when it's on picture 5, you get 5 points. When it's on picture 4, and if you get it right, you get 4 points, and so on until we get to 1, and then we've finally figured out what it is. We're going to give you a few different pictures as quick as you can, and round up your score, memorize it, or write it down.
About we do the first one just as a warm-up.
Practice
Okay,
round.
so don't keep the scores on this one, but practice round. So this is how it's going to work. So first of all, for a practice round, but this would be for 5 points.
Right, yes.
Can
What is
you
it?
Tell what that is.
Do
from
you
that
see it?
picture? I think the answer is no. I don't see
I
it.
don't see it.
If you know what it is, what we should say is, people, don't put the answers on Facebook yet. Please, don't go and say, oh, it's a tennis ball. No, because if it is, you've spoiled it for everyone else. So keep.
But if you want to check your answers, guys, you can always text me on the WhatsApp number, and I'll tell you if you've got it right.
But we're going to tell them. We're going to tell them at the end, Debs. We're going to tell them at the end. So that would be for 5 points. Do you know what it is? Here's a better view, but you only get 4 points if you get it after this one.
I still don't know what it is. I still don't
Okay,
see it.
we're going to speed up because this is just a practice round. For 3 points, okay, starting
I
to
see
see
it.
it.
I
You see it?
I'll
For
figure that
2 points, you get that.
Easy 2 points if you would.
And then you only get 1 point because that really is super easy now. Did you get what it was? It is, of course, an apple. That was for practice. That doesn't count. That's how it's going to work. But now we're going to play for real. You are going to have a total of 25 points. Total of 25 points.
So keep a
So
score,
there are
guys, from
6
10.
rounds. Keep a score. Are we ready? Don't shout the answers out. Are we ready? First one.
Here we go. Next picture.
Do you see it?
Do you
that
see
was
it for 5
pretty good.
points?
I like it. Yeah.
It's a bit icky.
Yeah, it looks
We
like
are-
a monster from the deep.
We are gonna have to speed this up. So you get 5
Next
points
slide.
if you get it
Next
now.
For
4 points.
Now, maybe
Next
see it.
one.
3
points.
Get it now. I think I'm starting to see it, although it's still creepy.
Okay, for 2 points.
Okay, you're getting 2 points.
Yeah, come on. You
on,
must be
guys.
able to get that.
Gotta get it
If you
now.
can't get that, you only get 1 point because the answer is obviously a flower.
Flower.
Did you get that? And how many points did you get? Scribble them down, write them on the back of your hand, keep a note, and then add that up. Apple
ready
doesn't
for the
count,
next one.
the flower does. Are you ready?
What's the next one,
Do
Jeremy?
you see it? What's this?
Whoa.
Saturn.
Looks like someone from Star Trek.
It
Tricky.
looks-
What is that? Number 5. Tricky. Okay, for 4 points.
An inflatable?
I mean, I don't know. Like a
I don't
it looks
see
like a torture device.
For 3 points.
Oh, I see it.
Do you see it?
I understand. I see it.
At home, on YouTube, on Facebook, do you see it?
Keep your own score.
Ah,
guys.
surely,
When you see
surely.
it, keep your score. I got 3 that time.
Yep, I see it. I
Can
see
you,
it.
you only get 1 point for this one because the answer is, tell us what it is, Wes.
Scissors.
It's a pair of scissors. Snip, snip. Great. That's how you play the game. Add that to your first round and we'll play again. Here's the next one. Do you see it?
I don't see it.
Looks a bit like an Audi badge.
Yeah.
Or like, no, I'm out. I can't see it.
4 points.
Next one.
5 if you get it then. We'll tell you in a minute if you're right or not. For 4 points.
No, I still can't see it.
Similar. Next one.
For 3 points.
Oh,
Ooh,
see it.
there's a clue. Do you see it? Do you see it at home? Do you see it?
I get it.
Come on, surely.
I got 2 points for that
If
one.
you still can't get it, we'll give you 1 point for this one. That must be super easy. You must get at least 1 point because the answer is
So nope.
it's a ring binder, a ring notebook thingy.
A sketch pad.
Okay, now this one I think is the hardest initially. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Do you see it? Keep your scores.
Oh.
Fish?
It's kind of bubbly, fluffy.
That's strange. I don't see it yet.
I don't see it.
Okay.
I don't see it. Next one.
I would love to know in the comments if anyone gets that for 5 points, for 4 points.
Oh, I think I see it. I think I see it.
Do you see it, Wes?
I'm not going to say what it is though because I'm not the ruiner of games.
Yeah.
Apart from Australian one game.
Oh.
I won't say
For
anything.
3 points.
I got it.
I know what it is because I did the picture.
I see it.
Do you see it, Wes?
Yeah, it's a prawn cracker.
At home, do you see it? That's the question we're asking today.
Do you see it?
For 2 points.
Okay, guys, come on. 2 points at least. Come on.
Yeah, well done, Seth. You've got it right.
Let's go, Seth.
Come on, you only get 1 point because I'm making it very easy now. The answer is, of course,
You go to the cinema.
popcorn! You get a bonus of 20 points if you can answer correctly. Is it salted or sweetened?
Yeah, bonus points if you send me
That's a
something.
joke. That's a joke. Ready? This is the last. This is the last one. Are you keeping your scores? This is the last one. Add your scores together. We'll take a poll in a minute. Here we go. Do you see it?
No.
I think that deserves 20 points if anyone gets that. But
I
you're
was
only going to
gonna
get
say,
5.
that's insane.
You only get 5.
Car window? Like, what? What is that?
Oh, it does look a bit like a car window. Yeah.
Yeah, is it?
No.
Is it a cargo?
For 4 points.
Is it a stapler?
Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout.
I'm
But you
alright.
don't see it. You obviously don't see it.
I
I don't see it. Oh, I see it.
Do you see it?
Oh,
At home, do you
I
see it? This is the question.
Do you see it?
You get 3 points. Okay, spinning up for 2 points. Okay, I think you must be getting it now.
Yeah, starting to see
Do
it.
you see it?
This little.
For 1 point. This is the last point.
let
That's
it go.
last point that's available. 1 point only.
Come on, guys.
Of course, it is a light bulb.
Light
Bing! We're
bulb.
talking about seeing today.
on,
Great.
everybody.
So while we quickly reorganize things, why don't you guys at home add up your scores?
Let's just
What
go
did you
back
get?
to the top.
Don't count the apple. Apple was only a test. Apart from that, your maximum would be 25. If you got 5 for each of them, you get 25.
Anna got
What
14.
did you
Well
get?
done, Anna. Well done, Anna. 14.
Seth
not bad.
got 18. Well done, Seth.
Oh,
I got
18.
17.
Big score. What was that?
Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
Ollie, 18
Um,
points. Well
Ollie
played.
got 18 points as well. Nice one, Ollie. That's amazing.
Impressive.
That's very impressive. Any other scores going on? Patrick
Okay.
got 12. Well done, Patrick. Good
Well done,
effort.
Patrick. Good effort. Good effort. Difficult game, I thought.
I think so. Should we do? Should we do a few more shout outs?
Do a couple of shout outs while we get ready for the next one. And then we
well
will.
done, Alison James for getting 15, and we also want to shout out to Levi and Ezekiel. Hello, Levi and Ezekiel.
Hey guys.
Shout out to the Explorers group from Burlish Park Primary who are all watching.
what up?
Hello, everybody. Lovely.
Hey
to see you.
Explorers, great to see you.
Shout out to the Scandon family and
The
the
Scanlons.
Scott family. And well done, Josh and Lydia, for getting 17 points. That was much better than me. I think
And-
it's time.
I think I saw the Hollands had joined as well. I think that's Jess and Adam. And
yeah.
see you guys. You guys used to come on. You were leaders on our camps. Love you. Remember you fondly. Great to have you guys with us. What's coming up next?
Well, actually, if you've been with us over the past few weeks, you'll remember that we're looking from the Bible at stories where Jesus met somebody, and we're looking at the conversations they had. And today we're carrying on that series, and we're going to be looking at the conversation that Jesus had with a blind man, all about what he could see. And Jeremy had a look at this story a few weeks ago, and he's recorded some thoughts, and we're going to watch those now.
And after this, we'll come back and we will play another game all about seeing. But for now,
See you in a bit.
have you ever found yourself in a dark place? It can be disturbing, can't it? We don't know where we are, and we can't understand our situation. What we need is light. Well, that's a little better. But I still don't understand a whole lot. I could do with more light. I seem to be in a room. What if I get more light? Oh yes, I'm in my office. It would make even more sense if I put the light on. I'll be right back. In our Bible story today, Jesus meets a blind man. And spoiler alert, he's going to heal him. But it's not the man's eyes that we're to pay attention to. Rather, as we go through the story, listen and see how the man's understanding grows as he sees more of the light that is Jesus. Let's have a look together. Well, let me start with the question. What do you see in Jesus? I mean, as you look at the stories of his life, the things that he did, and the things that he still does, what do you see in him? Is he a good teacher? A righteous, upstanding man? Is he an inspiring leader? Or is he more than that? What do you see in Jesus? Well, in today's account, it comes from John chapter 9. Jesus has a conversation with two different groups of people. On the one hand, there's a blind man. On the other, a group of Pharisees. Now, the blind man, he's been blind from birth, and so it's safe to assume he would be uneducated, very ignorant, and certainly wouldn't have had any Bible knowledge. On the other hand, the Pharisees, well, they knew their Bibles backwards and forwards. They were the religious leaders of the day. They were fine, upstanding citizens. And in fairness to them, they were trying to please God and to serve him. And yet both end up seeing surprisingly different things in Jesus. Well, the story starts, and it's a Saturday. Jesus is out and about with his disciples, and he comes across the blind man. He does something rather bizarre. He spits, makes some mud with the saliva, picks up the mud and wipes it in the man's eyes. Gross, you might think. He tells the blind man, "Go, wash it off." And when the blind man does, an amazing thing happens. His eyes are opened. He's no longer blind. He can see. Well, not surprisingly, very quickly, everyone's talking about this. I mean, it's not as though it's every day when a blind man gets his eyesight back. And so his friends, his neighbors, start asking him, "Tell us, what happened? Who did this? How did you get your eyesight back?" The blind man, well, his response is quite revealing. He says, John chapter 9, verse 11, "The man they call Jesus, he made some mud, he put it on my eyes, he told me to go and wash, and now I can see." Go figure. It's at this point that the Pharisees enter. Now remember, the day on which all this happened was a Saturday. And for the Jews then, indeed for the Jews to this day, Saturday is the special day, the day that's kept apart, the day when you're not supposed to work, the day when you go to church. It would be a little bit like our Sunday. And so the Pharisees are saying, this man Jesus can't possibly be from God because he doesn't keep the Sabbath. That is, he works on a Saturday. Imagine. So they summon the blind man and they start interrogating him. They ask him, "Who did this? What happened? And what do you say about this man Jesus?" Well, in reply to the question this time, the blind man says, "He's a prophet." That is, someone who speaks on behalf of God, someone who stands in God's place. Well, this enrages the Pharisees still further. "We have no idea who this man Jesus is or where he comes from," they say. But the man who was blind, he's starting to see. "That's remarkable," he says. "You can't work out where he comes from. Check me out. Look what he did to me. I can see again. Who could possibly cure blindness unless he came from God? Jesus must have been sent by God." Well, the Pharisees certainly do not see this. In fact, at this point, they've heard enough, so they hurl the man out. A little later, Jesus catches up with him, and it's now the fourth occasion on which the blind man is asked for his opinion on Jesus. Jesus asks him, "Tell me, do you believe in the Son of Man?" Now, Son of Man was a title that Jesus gave himself. He simply means God's Son, but born on earth as a man. Jesus is asking, "Do you believe in the Son of Man? Because it's me, the one speaking to you." The man who had been blind says, "Lord, I believe," and worshipped him. So as we reach the end of our account, the blind man has had not only his eyes physically opened, but he's come to see, to really see, who Jesus is. This outsider, this ignorant man with no understanding of religion. He has seen what Jesus did, and he has come to see, to understand who Jesus is. Lord, Master. The Pharisees, these righteous, upstanding religious folk, well, they've seen exactly the same evidence, but they fail to see who Jesus really is. At the start of John's account of the life of Jesus, he speaks of Jesus as being the light of the world. This is from John chapter 1. John writes this, "The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, like the blind man, he gave the right to become children of God." Jesus shows us through the pages of the Bible and through what he does in the world still today who he is. And he asks that we open our eyes and we open our hearts to see who he really is. And to those of us who do, he gives the right to be called his sons and his daughters. So let me ask you again, what do you see in Jesus?
It's me.
Go on, Deb.
Amazing. Thanks a lot, Jeremy, for that. Right, well, now we're going to play a different game. A game which is all about seeing or not seeing, as the case may be. We're going to play Pin the Tail on the Donkey, or, as it's also known, Pin Your Hopes on Debs. Earlier in this week, I was blindfolded and I had to pin a tail on a donkey. And so what you guys are going to do is you guys are going to try and guess where I put the tail. So Jeremy's going to put up a picture of the donkey with like a bullseye board on it. And I want you guys to see whether or not, guess whether you think I got the tail in that tiny bullseye circle 1, the slightly bigger circle 2, or whether I was completely and utterly rubbish and got it in circle 5. So we're going to play the video, but you guys need to have picked 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 before the video starts. And then at the end of the video, we'll see if you got it right. So pin your hopes on me. Where do you think I got the tail? 1, 2,
And we've got a total of 4 of these. Here we go. Send your comments in now. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Let's run the video. Here's Debs.
You still
Here we
got
go.
time to comment.
Seth says 2. Thanks for your faith in me, buddy. I appreciate it.
Oh, not at all! Oh!
Oh, that was just shocking. I mean, look at that appalling effort.
That was terrible.
I mean,
That scores a 5. That was a 5. Okay, that's how we play. What do you think? Let's do it again.
Okay, pick
Does
your-
Debs learn from her mistake? What do you think?
Pick your square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Here we go.
And we're going to get different blindfold. This one was actually harder to see through because there was many more layers. What do we reckon? Oh no!
Oh, it's hopeless.
That's
I don't even
appalling.
play it. Oh, another. Oh, sorry. everyone.
That's
I'm just
hopeless.
letting down.
That is another 5.
Did anyone guess I was going to be appalling at this and pick 5 twice? If you did, well done.
Yo, Ollie is just saying 5 on every time.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Ollie, I see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Not a bad shout. Let's try again. Are you ready?
Okay.
There are a total of 4. This is number 3. Here we go.
People think I might
Does
get it
Debs get any better?
right. Oh, I've got a 4 and a 4 and a 3.
Oh, it's looking better. Whoa!
Baby.
Oh my life. That's impressive.
Amazing.
Now, Ollie says 5, but
Oh,
that time, dude, I got it in 1.
You doubter. You doubter.
Absolute bullseye. Debs, that did look a little bit staged, if you don't mind my saying so.
Genuinely no word of a lie. That was a complete accident, and you can tell because my housemate was there filming me and watching me make a complete fool of myself.
Okay, last one. Does Debs do it again?
Come on,
Last
come on.
one.
Come on. I've got a t-shirt on my head now. I thought I'd try a different blindfolds.
Last one, guys.
Oh, where
Hannah
are we going to go? What's
had-
it? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh! We'll give you a cheer for that. We'll give you a cheer for that.
That's not bad.
That scores a 3. That was a 3.
Right, did any of you get it right? Did any of you guess where I was going to stick the tail on the donkey?
Yo, Ollie
Uh,
with 4 and 5s. Chill,
Josh
man.
and
Like, give
Lydia,
it a hope.
bang on in the last one. Josh and Lydia in the last one thought it was a 3, and it was a 3. So well done, Josh and Lydia. You got that bang on.
Guys, we have overstayed our welcome, but I hope you don't mind. I hope you've had some fun with us. If you would like to play Pin the Tail on the Donkey at home,
Download it.
you can. We've made it possible for you.
Yes. Oh, can't wait.
Someone explain this. There you go. All you have to do is go to that.
Yeah, go to www.campexcel.org/lockdown. We'll have some downloadable content. Just click on the button, it'll download, and you can print it off at home.
It's the
And guys, we would
donkey.
love to know where you got the tail on your donkey. So either take a photo or a video, or text us 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, because I'm sure that most of the world will be able to do this better than me. Now, so I think as we are running over, it's nearly time for us to leave. So I'm just going to pray for us before we go. So let's get ready to pray. Dear God, thank you for our time together today. Thank you for what we've seen in your word about who Jesus is. Father, we ask that you would help us to see Jesus as he really is, and you'd help us to think about our response to him. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Guys, thank you so much. It's been great having you. Do join us again next week at 4 o'clock. I'm going to leave you with a song by the amazing Sovereign Grace. This is the God of wow, the God who can open eyes to see him. Take care, stay safe. Bye from us.
All right, everybody, see you next week. Look forward to your donkeys.